Hey, my wonderful sweet baby. So, today we're going to be doing Baddies Midwest review for episode 7. So, the show pretty much just picks up where it left off, and we see that Paula as well as Bad Dolly are going at it. After Bad Dolly pretty much, did her big one against Paula, then she ends up actually dislocating her hand. She then says that she had pre existing illnesses with her hand, which I thought that was hilarious that she ended up saying. But I knew what she was saying. She tried to say that she already had like a sprained hand. So pretty much her getting active pretty much ignited her hand to get sprained again. So when the other girls come in, they're extremely confused as to why Paula and Dolly are going at it. So then Summer pretty much says that, she wants to run it again with Paula. So at this moment, they pretty much go at it, and the two of them are tussling. Surprisingly, Summer's actually getting better at holding her own. She literally did her big one against Paula, and I'm going to say that she was the winner of this one. Summer doesn't stop there. She actually then calls out Jasmine and says she wants her ones with Jasmine too. Jasmine's confused, but she's pretty much like, she's not going to duck no fades. So Jasmine pretty much then gets, ate up by Summer, which was surprising because I feel like the entire show, Summer really held her own. Whereas before, she was getting Muka Maka Good. So after this, Summer actually starts dancing after she pretty much, Muka Maka Paula. And then, Paula didn't let her do this for long because she was ready to go again. Which was actually crazy because Paula actually got done over again. So Natalie truly did not care about the girls doing what they were doing. She was like, you know what? We still have another booking. So, get yourselves together. Y'all gonna have to come out like that because we have a whole nother booking. One thing that I could say too is that the baddies are actually booked and busy this season. Like they literally just had 2 bookings in one day. They had the bowling alley booking and then they were actually at the club. So they are really booked and busy this season. Before things pretty much are officially done with this scene, Rolly actually announces that she wants to hang out with the new girls in the house in the next city. So she pretty much said that she feels like she wants to know them a little better. She also wants to teach them a few things. And also she wants to learn about them a little bit more as well as catching the tea. Which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I actually like that Rolly took this initiative because I feel like a lot of the OG girls, they're just kind of acting stuck up towards the new girls and feeling like they're above the new girls when they used to be the new girls at one point too. So the girls are pretty much on the Baddies bus and they are headed to their next booking, and Summer is still going at it with all of her ops. Then the girls pretty much go to the skating rink, and it was nothing but good vibes. It was no, animosity towards each other. The girls did their big one, and the fans cooperated as well. And Natalie actually brought up a good point, but also it kind of made me side eye a little bit too. But she was just kind of like, with this whole booking at the bowling alley, they were actually able to, appeal to their younger audience members because, their younger audience members can't go to the club. So, they did a whole booking at the bowling alley, which that's cool and all, but it's just kind of like, man, on Baddies, they do a lot of adult type stuff. So it's kind of weird to have kids involved, but I mean, I get it in a sense, but yeah, it was just I kind of cringed a little bit. So Natalie ends up FaceTiming Jayla in the next scene and pretty much tells Jayla how, things are about to change when they go into the next city and that not all the girls are coming with them. So Natalie announces that one of the girls is going home and the OGs are sitting back like, who's going home? Hopefully it's not one of us. Also, in the midst of this, we find out that it's Jaden's birthday. So, typical Natalie, before she even lets the girls go to the next city and just hop on the bus and just get on, she sits there and tells her infamous line of if anybody has any issues with anybody. She actually stirs the pot between Akbar and Biggie and causes for them to pretty much, ignite their beef. So Natalie pretty much goes, yeah, Biggie, I know you had a lot to say about Akbar and pretty much her having things to say about you. So do you guys want to address that? It literally took them forever to get to the point of their whole beef, and nothing ended up really happening. So all that pretty much ends up happening is Akbar said nobody was finna touch her. So then Biggie ends up throwing her purse at Akbar. After that whole situation, Akbar and Biggie was ready to look like they was gonna tussle, but wasn't nothing happening. So that's pretty much when Summer took it upon herself to then run across the field and Mukamaka Mika Jazz. So when this situation ended up happening, this made me cackle because Summer ran up on Jazz, and then when she ran up on her, security intervened. She ends up jumping on top of security's back while she's still holding on to Jazz. I literally lost it because I was like, this girl Summer is hilarious, and I feel like she does not know she's being hilarious. This is just naturally who she is. I'm not gonna lie, Summer actually made me like her this episode. So Anna's weird tail self goes over to Summer and tries to check her in regards to the situation. And of course, Summer was on defense. So then after they have their little conversation, pretty much, like Summer's like, yeah, she pretty much spoke on my baby daddy, so it's up. Anna pretty much intervened because she was like, we got to let them do their situation first. And nobody's supposed to be, running up right now. So then after that, that's when pretty much Summer was like, well, they was taking too long, which they was. After that, Jaden decides to insert herself into the Akbar and Biggie situation. She mentions that, it's her birthday and Biggie's actually starting to get on her nerves now. Then Biggie says, well, no one knew it was your birthday, so, I don't know, we didn't even know it was your birthday, girl. Jaden ends up saying, well, nobody had to know. I didn't want everybody to know, so it's not a big deal. Biggie ate her up with this line because she was like, you said it's your birthday, but honestly, looking at you, I couldn't even tell. When I tell you my mouth dropped to the floor, I literally gave the same look that Natalie gave in this moment because I was like, okay, Biggie, you actually ate that up. Because Jaden really did look raggedy. I mean, a velour suit, girl, come on, it's your birthday. So Jaden throws flowers and gets Mukamakamikud by Biggie. Summer and Jazz end up going at it again, and Natalie actually says that she doesn't mind because she likes the both of them and they're going to the next city. Natalie then says that she's going to give out another Baddies chain, but Diamond sits there and gets upset because she's like, wait a minute. It took me, practically 2 seasons to get my Baddies chain, so I think the girl should wait. She pretty much gives the Baddies chain to Ivory, so Diamond pretty much shuts the F up and just continues to lick on her invisible tooth. Then, after all this madness, Natalie finally tells Yoshi that she's not returning to the next city and she's got to go home. In her confessional, she was being messy and said she was boring. On the bus, the girls actually say that they don't understand why Biggie went after Jaden and they think that Akbar should have done more. They also say that, why didn't Biggie do anything when she was face to face with Akbar? Then the girls are pretty much trying to figure out why Summer is having so much beef with Jazz. Big Lex actually steps in and says that it was because, Jazz inserted herself into some beef. And Anna tried to clock her and said, oh, just kind of like how you did with Jayla's beef from last season. Which I don't really know why Anna said this because if Big Lex pressed her, she's going to run and hide like she's been doing all season. The last scene of the night pretty much ends up being the girls being on the bunk beds, headed to go to the next city. Then pretty much Paula is getting into it with Tinka as well as Summer. In the mix of this, pretty much Paula's letting Summer know, like, girl, we can go toe to toe. They actually end up going toe to toe. And then that's when pretty much, Paula starts crying because she feels like people are bullying her. Next thing you know, Summer ends up taking Paula's wig and she puts it on her head. The Baddies bus actually gets stuck in the mud as well. The girls end up meeting Jaden at a bowling alley / club for her birthday. They perform, and Jaden surprisingly gets a Baddies chain for some odd ass reason. Then they pretty much have to hurry, get dressed, and go to the next club. So here's my thoughts. It was a really good episode, and I feel like Summer is really starting to be my fave. Jaden really disappointed me. I also feel like at this point the girls are just picking on Biggie for no reason. And I honestly don't feel bad for Paula. But that's my opinion. What's yours?